Good afternoon. A good night of Shabbos, Parshas B'chukosai, Tovshin Ayin Aleph, May the 20th, 2011. A dramatic day took place yesterday. The President of the United States of America has declared war not just upon Israel, but upon all Jews from all the world for all times since Abraham. Why? Because he has publicly declared that we have no rights to Jerusalem, to the city of our fathers, notwithstanding the fact that East Jerusalem prior to 1948 was two-thirds Jewish, that the so-called Arab Quarter, and even where presently Arabs live, most of the houses have places for mezuzahs that they destroyed. It's irrelevant, because you see, Judaism is irrelevant as far as he is concerned. He is not a Christian who respects other religions. I have doubts whether he is a Christian. I have no doubts on this, that he doesn't care whether Israel exists or not. Yes, there will be people on the left who will say that I am crazy, that I don't know what I'm talking about, that he has a 100% voting record on Israel. 100% voting record on Israel has to do with appropriations. For President Obama, $2 or $3 billion a year is chump change. Look at his programs, his trillion-dollar programs. So to give Israel aid, to assist him to get stupid, foolish Jews to work on his campaign and to promote him, and to think of him as the savior of mankind, these were useful idiots. While they were in the process of getting him elected, they were useful. Now that he's elected, they're not useful. The other part of it is that some of these people are left-wing liberal nut jobs, which means that they have exchanged their religion for the Democratic Party platform, for progressivism, for socialism. That this somehow or other is more important for the world than God and the Torah. It's not their fault, but they are useful tools for the advancement of the agenda of Barack Obama. Barack Obama's agenda, as far as Israel is concerned, is he doesn't care if it exists or not. Why would the President of the United States not attack Iran's nuclear facility if he was willing to attack a friendly country's compound 1,000 yards away from their West Point? He was willing to take Black Hawk helicopters to run an attack and to assassinate Osama bin Laden in possible full view of the entire Pakistani people. He really has insulted the Pakistanis. That does not bother him. Treasure or people or men don't mean anything to him. So why wouldn't he destroy the nuclear threat of Iran? Ask yourself another question. Why would he not interfere with Assad? He's interfered with Gaddafi. Assad is murdering more people than Gaddafi ever would have dreamed of killing. His father was a brutal murderer that had maybe hundreds of thousands of people who he murdered, directly or indirectly. This Assad has just killed thousands of his countrymen in full view of the entire world. Why doesn't Barack Hussein Obama do something about it? The answer is very simple. He needs Syria and he needs Iran to put pressure on Israel. Why? Because in his worldview, by getting rid of Israel or denuding Israel, making Israel a state totally dependent upon the United States for protection, he will ingratiate himself with the Arabs. That's what he thinks. the ideology of Osama bin Laden is not dead. It's full well and alive in every Quran. The Quran is a violent document. Anyone who reads the Quran sees that it's a violent document. And don't tell me, no, it's only a minute amount. Just look at the numbers. Look at the polls of Egypt, which is supposed to have been a friend of Israel. Now, Egypt has had almost 40 years, over 34 years of economic relationship with Israel. They have gained a lot more than they've lost in the process. They got back the Sinai, they got back the oil fields, they got back the self-respect, they got everything back. Plus they got billions and billions of dollars from this country. Over $100 billion in aid. The United States modernized their army. They got stuff they could never have dreamed of getting from the Russians. Why do 75% of the Egyptians want the destruction of Israel? You got to ask yourself that. The answer is very simple. Islam. Islam does not compromise with other nations or other religions. It gets along with people who are bigger than it. And as long as Israel is bigger, badder than it, perceived that way, they may not attack Israel for that time. But the minute they think that there's weakness, they'll attack. Because that's the nature of radical Islam. Not radical Islam. Islam. Islam is jihad. Jihad means the sword. It doesn't mean a dialect, a discussion. I've put out questions on these videos for Islam, Islamists. They've never answered me. They threaten me with death. That's all they threaten me with. They've never engaged me in any kind of meaningful discussion. That doesn't mean that I've gotten to thousands of them, but the few that I've had on these waves have all been violent, for the most part. It's a record. It's there in my comments. You can take a look at them. So, there's no such thing as moderate Islam. There's no reformation of Islam. It's possible. There will be some reformers, but they haven't come to the forefront yet. They haven't come to the forefront and they don't have influence. And people who claim certain people are moderates should only listen to what they say in Arabic. And that's why Barack Hussein Obama is not Hussein, but insane. Because he doesn't care if Israel is going to be destroyed. But the ones that are going to be next are the Western world. That's what he does not understand.